You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Hey folks, welcome to the Beans and Dice Thursday Night Live call-in show. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
I'm Wayne.
And if you're watching the live show on the YouTubes, Rumbles, or Twitches, you can see on the screen we have a guest tonight. Our friend of the show, friend of the fellas.
Oh, yeah.
Over here, Chris Federspiel.
There you go. Pretty close.
Chris,
Hey, guys.
welcome to the show.
How you doing, Chris?
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. Glad to have you on.
Chris is a member of the board of one of our local gaming communities, Tampa Gaming Guild, and he's also going to be helping to lead an event to help drive board games for One Voice. We've talked about One Voice in the past. It's a school for kids with cancer, but once a year they do a collection of games for this school, and they call it KARDBOARD for Kids, and Chris is heading a lot of that up. So we invited Chris to talk about it because it's going on right now. KARDBOARD for Kids is going on right now, and I think it ends at the beginning of November, so we want to get this video out ASAP to get folks involved, telling them today how they can participate, how they can help with the kids, getting them games, getting them stuff to play with. So, Chris, welcome to the show. Thank you for sharing with us. Talk to us about KARDBOARD for Kids.
Sure, guys. First off, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you guys having me on the show to talk about KARDBOARD for Kids. This is the third year that we've done this, and this just kind of became a brainchild a few years ago of myself and my wife, who's a member of one of the Gasparilla crews, the crew of the Nautilus. They work directly with One Voice, and One Voice is a camp located in Brandon for children with cancer. As most everyone knows who's had cancer in their family, cancer is not an individual disease. It's a disease that hits the entire family. So Marianne has created a place where families can all get together and do fun things while these kids are still going through their treatments and stuff like that. And one of these things I thought of was, when it's raining out, they can't go outside. They're stuck inside. They have to, be in a certain position to receive their medical treatments or whatever. They need stuff to do. So board games is an obvious choice for that. And through that process, we created KARDBOARD for Kids, which basically asks the local Tampa Bay community and anyone who happens to listen to the show, if you're outside Tampa Bay, obviously, to donate some games for Marianne over at One Voice. The last couple years, last year we got over 128 games, and I would love to exceed that number this year. I didn't do so the last two times, but this time, because it's actually become something that's kind of near and dear to me now, I'm going to be contacting a bunch of board game, not designers, but
Publishers.
what's the word? Publishers. Yes, thank you.
There we go. Yep.
Bunch of publishers, send them the information, and if they want to send something, they can. And if anyone out there wants to make any kind of large size donations, they can also contact me directly, and I can get them information for tax deduction as well. So otherwise, we have a raffle that's going to take place November 2nd when we hand over all the games. You can win some prizes and stuff like that. And we invite anyone and everyone to come out to TGG, hang out, meet some of the kids, meet Marianne, who's the head of One Voice, meet Patricia, who's the head of the crew of the Nautilus, and meet myself, who's the president of TGG, and just see the things that we're trying to do for the local community.
Awesome. Yeah. We had a chance to participate last year. Carlos and I went out and taught some games, and it was a sobering experience to see these kids with cancer from all different ages, from little tiny to teenagers to, everything in between. And seeing them, they're in an educational setting. They're still doing their schoolwork. But then they have these, like you mentioned, activities that they do, these fun things that they get to do. And we really appreciated being part of that. I assume if we're going to do something like that, or if you're going to do something like that again this year, we certainly would like to try to get some people from the Beans and Dice community to be part of that again this year, maybe even more so than last year. So.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome to come out. I imagine probably in January we'll plan something, because usually what we do is after we gather all the games and we send them out, these are kids that are mostly in environments that play games like, Sorry and Monopoly is the heaviest thing. So when you send them something like My Little Scythe, they're kind of intimidated by that kind of stuff. So having someone that can sit down and teach the game to them
Yep.
is very important, so they get the full gamut of everything that we've donated to them, and it doesn't just collect dust on a shelf. So having you guys come out is obviously great, and we'd love to have you.
It was a great experience. I was actually surprised because that was my expectation, that would be over there playing Uno and other, light fare. But I remember I brought with me a game of Catan Junior, thinking I would expand their minds with this Catan Junior stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of kids there who were sharks. Like, they came in like sharks, and then their parents came in about 30 minutes later as we're wrapping up the game, and the kid is like, he's got all the goats, he's got all of Coco tiles, like,
Yeah.
and his mom's like, oh, he loves the Coco tile strategy.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
he knows that game.
That kid knew this game, and he came in like a champ. But
Nice.
it was even more than that. Playing Flip 7 with the kids, the older ones, the teenagers, and watching them have just the enjoyment, the razzing that they did of each other,
Yep.
the good times had. It was a great experience. I think Marianne came up with it because we had her join the show one day. She actually called in.
Called in.
I think during an episode like this, she called in and talked to us, and she invited us to come teach the games.
Yep.
So I want to switch over a little bit to the types of games that we're looking to get for them. I know that you posted a link in TGG, so you got a Discord on the Tampa Gaming Guild Discord. Robert so kindly has posted that same link in the Beans and Dice Discord.
Yep.
And I've got this page up here from Amazon. I wanted to show this to the folks, some of the stuff that we're talking about game-wise.
So this is basically a wish list, if I understand right, Chris. That you
walk
put together.
this technology deficient person
Sure,
through this process. So when I open
This
this
old guy
Amazon
over
link,
here, yeah.
how does it work?
You click on a thing and games pop up. Wow.
And when you buy it, it goes to them, not to you.
Oh.
Is that how this works?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's basically how it should work. Is when you add the games to your cart, it should obviously send to my personal address. I don't need hundreds of games, so I'm not going to keep any of them. Obviously, they're all going to go to the kids.
Yeah.
But these games are all going to range from all different types. There's going to be really super easy, super cheap games. Plus, as you can see on there, there's little stuff that's harder, like Dwarf Romantic. There's something on there basically for every age group, because Marianne has kids all the way to age 2. So anything that we can get into their hands is great. In addition to that, if there's something that you think that would be great for them, you can also add that to your cart and get that shipped over as well, even if it's not on the list. The only thing that I ask is don't necessarily get a lot of games that require batteries, because it requires them to keep batteries on hand and be able to replace them and stuff like that. And anyone that's ever had like a Lupin Louie, sometimes it can be aggravating to try and get that tiny little screw that doesn't have any access to it to replace the silly battery that's in it. And we want to just make things a little bit easier for them.
I thought I sent a copy of Lupin Louie last
I know
year.
you're going to be pretty disappointed to hear that, but oh well.
It's probably sitting there with dead batteries.
Yeah, probably.
And not every game that gets sent with batteries is a problem. It's just we don't want to send them a whole bunch of games like that. So
I'll bring extra batteries when I come again in
There you go,
January.
and you can bring a little
and
tiny
I'll
screwdriver.
replace them
Yep, you can
with
do
my
that
little tiny
screw.
screwdriver.
There you go.
I'm here for the kids.
And kind of on this topic, I actually just messaged Tim from the Board Game Rundown, and he's already posted it to the general chat, shouting out his whole crew.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
gonna
wow.
post a
They've got a
link.
big audience over
Yeah,
there. That's
they got a
great.
big audience.
Yeah, way bigger than us.
Yep.
well, thank you so much for that. Thanks,
Yeah,
Wayne.
I'm gonna go through. I'm on like 20 different Discord channels. I'm just gonna start spamming them all.
Yeah, Wayne
I
doesn't
really,
work.
really appreciate that.
He works for us. That's it. Like he's our media guy, our engineer,
He
our
does it all.
our Excel extraordinaire.
Yep.
I have never been a good salesman. I never will be a good salesman. But I'm of the mind that if I can present it to people, they'll look at it and be like, "Yeah, no, this is something good that I should be involved in." So
Yeah. Yeah, if it's a good thing, they'll pick it up and go with it. So that's what I'm hoping. And just get it out there in front of people, and hopefully lots of people will pitch in. And then, like I say, hopefully we can, if we can get if we're going to, teach again, if we can get a date set, we can put that out there and get some of our people out to actually teach the games and play the games and meet these kids. So
I was pleasantly surprised with the amount of folks that we were able to get out there last time. I think every table had a coach or two.
Yeah.
Right. It worked out great. I don't think there was any kid that was left uncoached on a game.
Yeah, my daughter and I were able to teach some Rhino Hero. So we brought had the Rhino Hero game out there, and we're teaching that one. So a little dexterity game that was fun.
Board Game Rundown is in the chat right now.
Hey.
This is an amazing cause. Thanks, Wayne, for bringing it to my attention. And this is a wonderful cause.
Aw.
This is a wonderful idea. I love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Mike and Tim out
Thank you
there
so much.
in Indianapolis. Right? Yeah, over by Gen Con.
Yep.
Those guys had us on their show. They've been on our show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're like our Midwest twins. Like
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
In the studio chat, I put a few pictures on a Facebook page that have pictures of all the games that we donated one year, along with Marianne, myself,
Oh, nice.
and some of the activities that we did that day. Probably the highlight of one of the years was the first year, was when we did Ready Set Bet, and I had a large Ready Set Bet table, and I was doing the announcement and running the horses really quick.
horses,
Have you all played Ready Set Bet before?
Oh, yeah.
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 I think we got a video
Everyone's-
of that played at Your Turn Con.
Your Turn Con, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, South Bend. Hey, I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
There you
Nice
go.
to see another Indianaite.
I get the corn out.
So we
Pork
have
tenderloin sandwich.
Yeah, we had just a
Best
quick
sandwich ever.
little spike in viewers. So I just want to maybe like go back over it again. Can you just drop again what the charity is and sort of what they're doing for the kids?
Oh, sure. It's a charity in Brandon called One Voice. You go to the website onevoice.org, and it is a summer camp that runs all year, even though it's called a summer camp. It's a camp for kids with cancer, and kids and obviously their families can go there and receive treatments and stuff like that. But be in an environment that's still learning, still fun, and be around others that are dealing with the same issues as well. And like I said earlier, cancer is not necessarily an individual disease. It's a disease that hits the entire family. So having a safe place for the entire family, as opposed to just one person is ideal. And Marianne unfortunately lost her son to cancer when he was young, and that's the reason why she formed One Voice, was because she didn't want to see other families go through the things that she had to go through. So she really is a hero in our community, and we love to support her every year.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, and we know it rains here in Florida, so the kids sometimes have to stay
Yeah.
inside. So having lots of games to play is a good thing.
Actually,
So-
the day that we taught, that January was a
Mhm.
cold, rainy day, so it worked out great.
Yep, it was raining all night.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
And I think for those that might be listening outside the Tampa Bay area, I want to explain that. So we have Gasparilla Parade and Guava Bean Parade. We have a lot of parades here in Tampa that are kind of like Mardi Gras like. And
Better than Mardi Gras. Come on.
better
now.
than Mardi Gras. Yeah, that's true.
No.
And I have some
I'm just
familiarity.
trying to poke at our
in
Louisiana
order
friends.
in order to be in the parade, you have to be a crew, and each crew has to have a charity. And all year long, the crews do charity work. And so, like, I had friends that were the crew, the Conquistadors, and there's all these various crews. And so, I believe you or your wife are a member of a crew that sponsor that their charity is this One Voice charity and kids with cancer. So it's really pretty cool. Is in order to get in these fun, nighttime Mardi Gras parades in Tampa, your crew has to raise X amount of money a year for charity or do a certain amount of charitable works. Which I think is awesome, because it's like, you want to go have fun at the night parade, you want to go fun and throw beads at people. Well, you got to do some good for the community too. So these crews do massive amounts of community service every year in order to have the fun at the end of the year and be part of the big Mardi Gras parades, which I think is really awesome. So that's what I want to highlight. That's sort of a unique thing in Tampa that when I moved down here, I thought was really cool that, we have these cool parades that are kind of like, drinking and partying and throwing beads and all this craziness. But behind the scenes, there's just a year-long
good cause.
charity work and good causes. And every crew has a charity, and it's always kids with cancer, or it's, a research for this disease, or research for this, or homeless shelters, or food banks, or various things. So it's really pretty cool. And so I love the fact that this crew, the Nautilus, is involved in the One Voice Foundation. So it's pretty cool.
Yes, as Wayne said, in order to be a crew and participate in the parades and actually have a float in the parades, the crew has to be an actual nonprofit entity itself. And part of being in the crew as well is to link with other nonprofits within the community to do, service together and raise awareness for in this case, it'd be for cancer, or for another thing that the crew then also does is beach cleanup as well. So they also do a lot of stuff with that, like in Clearwater Beach and stuff like that, to keep our beaches clean so people can enjoy them.
Yeah, love that.
Nice.
And again, there's a link in our Discord, along with the Tampa Gaming Guild Discord. You can find a link in this description to whatever format you're watching it. I put a copy of the link that takes you to the Amazon as well for you folks that are struggling with like how to participate, how to connect. Because you're not in Tampa, you're not part of the Tampa Gaming Guild, you can just click on the Amazon link, and there are plenty of games in there that they're looking for help. I want to see some copies of Jungo. Make it that way. I think that'll be a hit this year, just like Flip 7 was last year for the kids. Jungo has been a hit in my house. Super enjoyable game. The Dwarf Romantic, I think, is the heaviest one that I've seen on here so far.
Yeah.
So a lot of different varieties in here, folks. So jump in there, help out with the Nautilus crew and the Tampa Gaming Guild as they support one voice with the kids with cancer to get some games to them. Now, Chris, let's talk a little bit about Tampa Gaming Guild. And I know that the Cardboard for Kids is one of the things that the Tampa Gaming Guild helps with. You're president of the board, I believe, over at Tampa Gaming Guild. It's a local game club in Tampa. Let the folks at home know what y'all do there and how they can also connect with you there.
So Tampa Gaming Guild is an entity that we formed over 5 years ago, which we kind of did it on a whim in that we wanted a local location for people within Tampa Bay to be able to just sit down and play games. Now, everyone could say, well, you can just do that at home, or you can do that at a local game store. And yes, that's definitely true. You can do that. But that's not always an option for some people, or they may just not know who to talk to. They may not know anyone in the community and be nervous about meeting people. Well, at Tampa Gaming Guild, you can come in, sit down, play a game with somebody, and I can almost guarantee every single time you'll come in there, you're going to have someone that's going to be friendly, going to come up and greet you, tell you who we are. It's important to note that we are a nonprofit. Everyone that is a volunteer at Tampa Gaming Guild to introduce Tampa Gaming Guild to people that come in and show them around. They're not paid employees or anything like that. We have a board that is elected by the members. And I like to say that we are member-driven community. So TGG is the members, in my opinion. I happen to currently be the president of the board. Unfortunately, in November, during our next annual meeting, I'll be stepping down. But I have been involved since its inception. I was one of the original 10 people that originally sat down in a literal round table and started discussing what it is we wanted to do. And I'm ready to step back and just play some games and hand it off to, quote unquote, the next generation.
Yep.
We have over 50 members, and we've always, every business decision that we've made, we've always went into it with the two things. We want to make sure it's what our members want, not what we as a board want. It's what our members want. And we're going to stay profitable. And what I mean profitable is we just want to be in the black. We don't want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. It'd be nice if we did, but we don't want to. But one thing we always do is all of our profits that we talk about during our annual meeting, because our financials are public, we take that extra money that we might have and send it back to the members in the form of reduced fees, because yes, there is a monthly fee, also annual options as well. But we got to keep the lights on, guys. But we are very transparent with everyone, and we give that back to the TGG community. For example, last year we reduced our annual fees down 30%. So that was something great for the members, nice. And that's what the members wanted. Also, in addition to that, because of our members, we are allowed to have free Sundays. So the first and third Sundays of every month when we're open is free for anyone in the community to come in. We fully understand that some people might be a little, cash strapped or whatever. They're free to come in, hang out, play some games, meet the people. If you want to come during non-Saturdays, we also offer a 30-day trial. So we fully believe that if we show what we have to the community, people will see what we are offering, and they will come and they will, join TGG. If not as a member, at least come in on Sundays and hang out with the community. We have almost 500 games in our library that are free for anyone to just grab, sit down, and play. No restrictions whatsoever on that. Snacks and drinks are on site. If you want to bring your own food, you can. The main number one goal is for people to come in, have a good time, and play some games.
Nice. Yeah, it's a nice community over there. I've definitely taken advantage. I've come in as guests of friends that I've had. I've come in on Sundays and taken advantage of some of the free Sundays. It's as you mentioned, all volunteer. I know several people now on the board. It's really a cool thing that y'all do there, and you share the space with is it the Bridge Club that actually owns the building, or?
Yes, that's correct. The Tampa Bay Bridge Center is the entity that actually owns the building itself, and
Okay.
we lease space from them.
Cool.
Their patronage primarily uses the space during the day, and we use it in the evening and at night. So it works great for us.
Yep.
It's a very large space, very comfortable, plenty of tables, very open.
Yep.
It is generally you've been there. It's a very good space that we enjoy, and it's working great for both of us.
Yeah, it's got clean bathrooms. There's a kitchen. It's a real nice spot there. Yep.
I think I've been a few times on free Sundays when I can get over there, based on life and stuff. But what I really like is when you go there on Sundays, I've gone knowing that Rob was going to be there, or like Jim or Sam, some of the other members. But there's always a member that's kind of there with a bunch of intro, family-friendly, starter, kind of lighter games ready to go. And that as somebody comes in off the street that's new, that's never been there, they're like, hey, can I give you a tour of the building? Let me show you. It's not a very big, it's a big space, but it's not like massive, right? But they're like, let me show you the library. Let's show the bathroom. And you want to sit down and let's play a game. And the idea I think a lot of times, at least back in the day when I go to like meetups, right? You go to a meetup and everyone's already in games and there's nobody there to play a game with. You walk in with your bag of games and it's not as welcoming, and there's not someone there that's looking to introduce you to the place and kind of like foster you into the community as well. So I've always loved that. Every time I walked into the Tampa Gaming Guild, there was someone like, hey, are you new here? Is this your first time? Immediately like just welcoming and inviting, which is like, you don't see that at game stores as much. Some you do, some you don't. You don't see that at meetups. You don't see that at like, the bar meetups when people are organizing it. It's often like little groups that they've already got their game. But the TGG has always been very good about having somebody dedicated to help out on those free Sundays when somebody could walk off the streets and just be like, I heard there was games here, which is cool.
I think my favorite part. The favorite part for me, Chris, with Tampa Gaming Guild has been your flea markets. Like, I have so much enjoyed attending the flea markets y'all do. It's like a service to the community, right? We know you don't have to do it. We know it doesn't really earn you any money because people don't pay you anything to host that. But it's a service to the community. It allows us to cycle games amongst ourselves in a great format. So I'm going to thank you for hosting those. Those have been a stellar blast. Your Tampa Gaming Guild flea markets.
Our flea markets surprisingly have been more popular than we initially thought it was going to be. We thought it was just going to be a few people to show up and no big deal. But when we started doing it, we quickly realized that there was a huge demand for that. So we've pretty much got it in mind to do a free market every 6 months. We tossed around some other ideas like doing maybe, a math trade or a board game swap, like what you said. But we think what we're going to do for right now is just, have a flea market every 6 months because we don't want to close out that opportunity for any other game stores or any other entities to actually do flea markets on their own. We wanted to enhance the existing board game community, but not necessarily take it over, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Well, I'll give you my opinion as a gamer in the community. I don't think anyone else is doing it.
Not much.
I don't. You're not holding a monopoly on anything because no one else is fighting you for it. So we as gamers appreciate that you're still doing it. I know that your turn was probably the only other place I can think of that hosted them. I know the Brandon Gamers Guild has done some, or club. I can't remember if it's club or guild or
club. I think. But
the Brandon Gamers on Facebook.
Gamers, yeah.
Brandon Board Gamers. They have hosted like VFMs, like virtual flea markets, where people have met up in a parking lot to swap stuff out. And then outside of your occasional con, even Dice Tower took away the flea market now. So we can't go to Dice Tower and sell our games at Dice Tower East.
Yeah, you just got to do virtual flea market for the.
Or you got to go to the historical cons, like what Dominic. You're a friend of Dominic. He's a member. Huracan, right? They still do a flea market, but that's mostly war game centric. So in the board game space, in the Omni Gamer space, it's you, Poppy. Don't hold back.
Well, I appreciate it, but I don't think the members that volunteer to help run it could do it any more than 6 months because at the end of the day, we're all completely exhausted.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for talking to us about Tampa Gaming Guild. Thank you for talking to us about Cardboard for Kids. I want to separate this as a separate video on its own, this first 30 minutes. So we'll close it out here on the Cardboard for Kids and Tampa Gaming Guild. Don't forget, go to the Beans and Dice Discord in the description of the show or the Tampa Gaming Guild Discord. You can find links to the Cardboard for Kids events. So there's a flyer there for you. There's a link to Amazon where you can buy games and it'll get sent right to the kiddos. And there's also links to One Voice as well as the Nautilus crew for other ways to help support these organizations directly instead of having to do it through board games if you're so willing. So Chris from Tampa Gaming Guild, from helping out with One Voice, Cardboard for Kids, thank you for that part. Now we're going to continue the show. But now we make it a call-in show.
Yeah, open the calls.
So we will open up the phone lines to anyone who wants to dial in to talk to Chris about gaming. This week's episode, because we didn't get to do it last week, we're going to focus in on our TWIG, TWIG, our This Week in Gaming. And then we're also going to get into our OGG, our other geeky goodness. Chris is going to hang as long as he can. As long as he desires, he is welcome to stay with us all the way through. So welcome to the call-in show portion. 813-618-7099 is the number.
Phone line is open. If you call and it's busy, we just have the one line still. So if you call and it's busy, just wait till you see somebody hang up on the show, and then you can call right in behind.
Or post in the chat that it's not working because Carlos didn't turn it on right.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not turned on or something, just let us know.
That is not unheard of.
It's definitely happened. Anyway,
all right. So let's start with our twig. So I'll lead it off to give Chris an example of how this works, and we can go round robin. Here's the one thing you got to learn about me, Chris. The consistent thing is inconsistency. We don't do things the same all the time. We just go with the flow and enjoy ourselves. We do this for fun. So here's my twig, an example of how I would do my twig. We haven't done it in 2 weeks, so I'm going all the way back to September 25th. Right. So that Thursday, that was the Thursday that we talked about the games we played, like Toy Battle and stuff.
Yep.
So everything after that.
Okay.
So after that, at church, I had to sit there while wifey was teaching. She teaches some of the kids at church. So I go up there and hang out with the younger boy. They don't have childcare for him. So I'll sit there and play games of my own. I brought Welcome To with me.
Oh, okay.
So I sat there and ran to a few games of Welcome To solo mode. But I used the advanced cards, which I don't think I've done before, like the full advanced goal cards. And then I used what was interesting is one of the cards that has a goal had a goal where you had to get a roundabout. You had to have a roundabout in the game, which I don't think I've ever done a roundabout.
I've done a few, but yeah.
So I've never used the roundabout method of Welcome To. Welcome To is all about building 3 streets of homes, and you're trying to get permits to build these homes and put them in numerical order based on a flop of cards. It's a flip and fill game. Blue Dog, I think it is the name of the company. Blue Cocker.
Oh, really? Okay.
Blue Cocker Games. There it is.
Sure.
Welcome To.
Okay.
That was Rob's nickname in college.
Oh my God.
9:30.
That was bad.
Too early.
Too early.
I'll see myself out.
Yeah, there you go.
But I found that one card in the advanced game that I did not expect. And so it really changed how I played the game because a roundabout allows you to reset the number run. Normally you start with a low number, increasing all the way up to a high number. But if you throw a roundabout in there, it only costs you like -3 points.
Only?
Listen, that's not a lot to be able to reset and complete a whole street. All it reminded me of was that I really, really like Welcome To. Like, Welcome To is an awesome game, and I forgot how much I like it.
Yep. Here you go.
We got a call coming in. Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Miriam Asolio from the One Voice Foundation. How are you guys?
Welcome
how you doing?
back to the show.
How are you?
Well, welcome. Thanks for having me. I was anxious to call in and just thank you guys so much. We are just enjoying our games, and even our healthcare providers have made comments on it. We've sent some of our games over to the playrooms at Tampa General, All Children's, and St. Joe's.
Nice.
And the team is using a lot of them, the memory games and word games for a lot of the children with brain tumors working, just trying to learn just a simple counting and clue problem solving and memory. Memory is a big one.
Sure.
So thank you guys so much. Fun and therapeutic.
Yeah, it really it was stunning when we first talked. Welcome back to the show.
Yep.
This is Carlos. We got Rob
Thank
with me
you.
here.
Yep.
It was stunning
course.
last
Hey,
year
Rob.
with the first
Hey.
time you called in, and you told us about how games were used for kids during test for brain activity to keep them
Right,
busy and
right.
focused so that you can do those tests. That
Absolutely.
blew my mind.
It is amazing. Guess Who is one of the ones that I know personally when my son was having lumbar puncture. The children are laying on their side. So typically a child life specialist or a parent is sitting in a chair and you're playing a game while they're, doing this intrusive, procedure on their back on this. And, you're like, no, it's the guy with the red beard. No, that's not where he was. So you're kind of focusing over here. And they're actually laughing and playing, and you're thinking to yourself, this is amazing.
Yeah.
All this is going on in your little body, and you're trying to figure out where the bald guy is with the glasses. So it really is used a lot in play therapy. Used to be manipulatives like Play-Doh and things like that, but they're really finding that the mind games, the ones where it actually you're using your memory and especially Scrabble, like really having to try to figure things out, and Sudoku, things they can do alone when they're in a hospital bed, not like an easy bake oven, but something they can actually be thinking about, crossword puzzles and Sudoku and board games and Uno. Uno's a big one. We're playing Uno in Spanish now just to learn some Spanish words.
I think Uno was in Spanish.
Yeah, we're like,
I'm checking
yes,
myself.
Exactly. Uno
Marianne
in
confused
Celtic.
me.
I'm like, why are we playing this in English? Let's say azul. Let's say dos. Let's play it in Spanish.
Really,
So
really
you
get
go.
them
use it a
thinking.
lot. Yeah, really get them thinking. It's not called one. Let's play Uno, and let's play it in Spanish. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, so it's been really wonderful and a wonderful tool for healthcare providers as well.
I'm glad to hear that the surplus of games are being distributed out there into other parts of the
Absolutely.
community and the folks that you're in touch with. Because I saw that table of
really
games
are.
that Chris showed a photo of with where they had donated all these games to y'all, and I'm like, that's so many games. But to see that they're not just staying there, they're going out to the families, they're going out to the different locations. How are you using these for the community?
Oh, very easily. We kind of divide them by what's age appropriate. Like if it's something like that a teen would be playing, or something that would be way over a smaller age child, it goes out to the teen rooms. The hospitals all have teen rooms, and that's kind of a cool place to hang out with other teens, and it gets them off their phones, off their pads. They actually have conversation, which is, to me, wonderful, because I know, like, when our students come in, they all know phones go on my desk. That's it. No phones unless your teacher's telling you to log on, but that's typically not the case. So there's board games, there's workbooks, there's your schoolwork, and we'll take a break later, but we're finding that getting them to the age appropriate. We have a preschool at our school. These are children born with cancer or diagnosed under the age of 5. So of course we have Candyland and learning, and all the hospitals do too. They have age appropriate rooms. So we try to divide by age, and like I said, we service all children's, St. Joe's, Tampa General, and we're also in the outpatient clinics, which is really, it's a waiting room, and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and why not be having board games? And besides the old days when we would sit and read magazines, now we're really implementing the board games. They're much more interactive. We also partner with the Ronald McDonald House. So we have a couple games over there in their, what they call their library. So that these are siblings whose, children, their siblings very, very ill in the hospital. And, they spend a lot of time staring at the waiting room walls. Well, why not play a game and communicate how you're feeling? So they're used really intellectually and emotionally out in the community, as well as that one voice.
That's great. Yep. Wayne, did you have something
We
to throw in
love
there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it together.
Oh,
I know, right?
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think it's amazing, and like, dude, Tampa is, pretty big metropolitan area, and the amount of hospitals that
Yes.
we have. And I used to work at USF, where we had Moffitt Cancer Research, and we had the Shriners
Yep.
Hospital for kids there, and just the amount of
Mhm.
things that we do in this community for children is like, it's hard to, like, after I have my own kid now, it's like it hits so much harder that you realize that
Oh,
the
sure.
need there, and just the
Sure.
simple things of giving a kid a who guess who game, and the joy it can bring them in a
Right.
time where they're going through some of the worst things you could ever imagine. It's pretty cool.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is. And their games are at home, their dogs are at home, their friends are in school, and sometimes connecting through a game, it provides normalcy, because if I was home, I'd be playing the game, you know what I mean? Whereas, here I am stuck in the hospital. And I got to say, the healthcare providers are so funny. They'll come in, and if there's a game going on, they'll like move a piece and laugh, or, they just try to interact too, which is really kind of neat. We have a couple of international patients, several who don't speak English, but you know what? Board games are pretty darn universal. You can play chess in English, you can play it in Spanish, you can play it in German. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't really even have to speak to play a lot of board games. You just have to know the rules, which they seem to know without even really having to talk, which is also really special.
That's awesome. It's hard to even describe. I know that we've all dealt with our own stuff, right? I remember as a kid, I was 15, 16, having my first surgeries, and I spent at least a week in the hospital post-surgery. And I remember as a teen, it was boring. Like the quality of games back then, we're talking
Right.
1995, 96, right? Like it was just
Probably missing pieces, missing
and it was
cards
all
and,
the Target or the Walmart
Yeah.
style like monopolies and stuff. So the idea that we can help, we in this community, those that are listening right now on the podcast or live, you can click the link to the Amazon, send games directly that way. You can go to the onevoicefoundation.org website. You can donate directly through there. These are all ways that you can help contribute to what Mary Ann's got going there, which is firsthand experience. Rob and I have been there.
Yep.
It left me shook
Yep.
after that experience.
Oh, well, you have to come back then and unshake and do it again.
Oh
Yeah,
no! That
yeah.
you
Yeah, we
you
would
suck
love
it
to
up.
have you
We plan
back.
on
You
it.
walk
Yeah,
in and
yeah.
you put on a smile, and the kids, just the kids show up and they'll destroy you in Catan Junior
There you go.
because that's what they do.
Beat you at the games.
Because that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Mhm.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, look at your calendar and let me know. It's always Tuesday night. Usually after dinner at tutoring, we go into our activity basically 6:45 to 7:45. We have a whole hour. We can set it back up in Leonard Hall, and they'll have a great time. They love it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, we'll definitely be there.
Thank you for
Perfect.
making it a
Thank you,
call-in
guys.
show. We're going to put it up
Of
on the
course.
board now. It's going to be one call. Rob, you got the expo marker. We're putting it on the board, Marianne. You're the first caller of the evening. You made it an official call-in show.
Aw,
Thank you for making that happen.
Yay. Well, thank you all for what you do and for what you make happen. We appreciate it so very much.
We'll see you soon. Have a good night.
Yeah, have a great night, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Mary Ann.
That's awesome.
And just to remind everybody at home, so we talked about the link for the Amazon site. You're not limited to those games. It's just some games that Chris thought were appropriate. I mean, there's tons more games on Amazon that you can go. There are thousands and thousands of games you can go through. So obviously, look for things that are appropriate. Like Chris said, maybe try to stay away for things with batteries and things like that. Age appropriate. We're not talking, no Twilight Imperium or anything here.
Hey, now.
We're not looking for 8-hour games, but things that are age appropriate. But anything on there, and just know that if you buy it through that link, you buy it through that Amazon, it's not going to come to you. You don't have to worry about shipping it off to Tampa if you're from out of state, international, wherever you might be. You just go on there, you put a couple games in your cart, you check out, pay for them, and then those will get shipped straight to Chris, and then we'll probably all be going and presenting those to the One Voice Foundation. So, yeah, it's a great cause.
I love the fact that, like, this is the third year we've done the game, so they have a lot of games, and games get in a hospital or in a camp situation. Obviously, pieces go missing, and games kind of need to be replaced. But as they get duplicate copies or extra games or games that maybe fit other areas, the fact that they've sent it to St. Joe's Hospital and Tampa General Hospital and the other big cancer hospitals and research hospitals and kids hospitals here in Tampa Bay is just spreading that kind of joy around is awesome too. Like that's just great.
Yep, for sure.
All right, so we were on our Twig, our This Week in Gaming. I gave you an idea of what that looks like. Chris, join in. Anything in the last couple of weeks, gaming-wise, that you want to highlight? Games you played, purchased, videos you watched about gaming, anything to do with gaming? What's been going on with you?
Well, the game I've been playing most within the last month or so is Slay the Spire. I've been getting a lot of requests to teach it. Plus, I enjoy playing it as well. Plus, my wife enjoys playing it. And any of us that have a significant other know that if the significant other likes to play it, it's a game that you want to have in the library.
There you go. Yeah.
So if you have never played the video game, it's a pretty good recreation of the video game itself. But one of the things that I like about it best is the way it handles multiplayer. There's really no downtime between any of the other players doing their activities. So one of the things I don't like about a lot of multiplayer games is, someone takes their turn and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. You don't have this problem with this game. It is a deck building game, and it is a very tough cooperative game. But it also has a lot of roguelike rules that are within it. So you
now for non-video gamers, like what does that mean?
So roguelike basically is whenever you play a new session, it's going to be different. The board, correct. You start over, but as you complete game sessions, you're going to unlock some things, and the board state is going to be different basically every time. And as you play it more and more and more, you unlock more and more things. You can get, quote unquote, deeper into the game itself and have more options for you. So that's basically what a roguelite is. There's 4 different classes you can play. Each one plays completely different. So it's 100% basically asymmetrical, but they're all fun and different in their individual ways. And they all have individual unlocks that you can do as well. If you like playing, say, for example, the Shadow or whatever, you can unlock new stuff for them every time that you play him. Is there a call?
Yes, there is.
Oh, there you go.
Beansanddice podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Joey from Colorado.
Joey,
Hey, Joey,
Colorado. Welcome back. We got a guest on the show today. We've got our friend Chris from Tampa Gaming Guild. Is a guest on the show. We're talking about getting board games to kids. What do you want to talk about?
I saw that, or I came in on the back end of that. Am I the next caller after the lady from the hospital?
Yes.
You are. Try to follow that up.
Yeah, good luck.
That's a tough act to follow. I'm going to say this. My daughter, luckily, has been good with surgery she's had, but nothing will humble you like going to the children's ward. And the people that work there is top of the line. I can't say enough about them. So I want to say that first. Thank you to all the healthcare workers.
Absolutely.
And thanks to the Tampa Gaming Guild for sponsoring this show.
There you go.
So, anyways, I'm on my way home. I haven't been able to call in a couple weeks. So I'll make it quick because my wife's been with the kids all night. I had to work late tonight, but so when I get home, and I'm only about 5 minutes from there, I have to get going. There's so much happened in the last couple weeks that I just wanted to throw several things out there. Did you get your 4 Northwood yet? Did it deliver?
Negative. However, what I have, it's on my Twig to talk about. I have played through the tutorial on BGA, so it's got the juices flowing. I'm as the guys from
scratched a little bit of the itch, but I'll tell you what, it probably made the itch even worse.
That's what it is. As the guys from Secret Cabal say, I'm chomping at the bit to get this thing. Like I'm frothing.
Yeah.
I'm frothing.
You can see a doctor for that.
They make an ointment.
Yeah. And then I wanted to say the World Series of Board Gaming happened. I wanted to talk about that, but I don't have the time. And then I did want to follow up too with I told you I don't like doing long game sessions, and I don't like, long game sessions is fine, but long games within that session, tends to can be not as well. Anyways, we did our most recent one, and within 5 hours we played 5 games. It was great.
Nice. Yeah.
We did a bunch of short games. So, but they back to the giving games to kids. You guys got me inspired. I'm going to make a trip to the hospital. I don't know when, and I don't know if that's the best way to do it, to just show up and drop off games. But
no, you just walk right in and say, "Hey, where are your kids at?"
Point to do it.
Not at all.
Colorado man arrested.
No, but I'm sure any hospital that has a kids area or kids ward, they have a game room that I'm sure they would love donations of games.
Yeah, and we have a specific hospital just for kids, so I'm sure that I can just show up and say, I got some stuff in my car. Where can I drop it off? So, but anyways, I'm pulling into the house right now, so I can't talk.
That's okay, but hit me up with this last thing before you go. What was the World Series of Board Gaming? Which game
was your highlight,
or what was your highlight of the whole event? Because I'm going to talk about it too.
So I'm going to say this is my highlight. Number one, just watching the coverage and having the Dice Tower be on that coverage. Although, when I meet him in person, if it ever happens, Joey Evans, he wasn't as knowledgeable as I think he should have been to be even just a color commentator on the game he was covering.
He stumbles through a little. Yep.
Well, we all would. We all don't know it as well as those people. But I'm going to say my highlight was twofold. One, I already said it's threefold. One, seeing Dice Tower cover it. Two, the amount of games that they play in those ring tournaments, or the types of games, are all games that I love. Castles of Burgundy, Ra, White Castle, and there was another one. Great Western Trail. All great games. I was so glad to see those, and I'm a big champion of White Castle. Not that it needs champions.
Yes, it does. Over here it does, because these jerks right here next to me is too short.
No, I heard the players were saying it's like the #1 game of the tournament, because it's all calculated. Basically, you see all the stuff there.
I have been playing it online solo.
Of course,
I love it. I've played it myself solo. And I just played with my friend on BGA. They did get me to install BGA.
Okay.
So I got the freebie version there.
Nice.
But, and I played one of my guys that I played with. He beat me by like 30 points. I was like, okay, so that's where I'm at.
Well, I'm going to need your handle so I can set up a match between you and I, and we can do the Colorado-Florida throwdown.
Okay, great. Glad to hear. So here's my final, though, is going to be, after seeing it played, I bought Ra, and I got the last one that Target had available throughout the country, and it was the upgraded 25th century.
Nice.
For like $50, dude, you cannot beat that.
Yep.
Considering it was the last in the country that Target would have sold.
Yeah.
So, and what's funny is, like, I was like, no, I've never played it. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I actually have played it, but I got it years ago as an app on the iPad. And if you're talking about a game that just probably you shouldn't tout as a solo on an app game, it's probably Ra. You're not going to have nearly as much fun.
You got to have a bunch of people around the table yelling Ra, Ra, Ra.
Yes. So anyways, and then I played it. This is, I don't know, probably 5 years ago, maybe. I played it, maybe longer, 6, 7, 8. I played it. I won the first game, and it was like what I had told you guys previously, like where you play a game, you win it, and you're like, I'm not that interested in it anymore. I beat it. Ra is not that game, and I got it play. It was one of the games that I got played within the 5 hours.
Nice.
So all of that to say, I'll message you somehow. My handle. I don't want to put it out there publicly.
In our Discord.
Although I can't imagine too many people are going to pester me.
You can find it in our Discord if you join the Discord group. You can email me at beansanddice@gmail.com. Real quick, these two suckers introduced me to Ra just less than like 3 weeks ago. I while borrowing Rob's copy, I bought my own.
He bought another one. I got 2 copies.
And well, Robert, I have 3 because just shipped is the Pharaoh edition. So I have a copy of regular Raw for sale, because
you don't ever say
I have played solo 5 times this week alone by myself. Raw, just because I want to play with the components. Like, I love the components in this game.
Yeah, I get that.
You might have a problem.
Yeah, Joey, I got a problem. Thank you for the call, man. Go take care of wifey.
Thing. I appreciate that.
Go take care of wifey,
Thanks,
brother.
Guys, have a good one.
Thanks, Joey. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one. Thanks for calling in.
I tell you,
Bye-bye.
I have been playing this by myself at the kitchen table after dinner, just
that sounds
flipping
like a you
tiles.
problem.
Yeah, I know that's a problem. But you, Chris, you've played Raw?
I played Raw, but it's been a while since I've played it. But yeah, I really do enjoy it.
It's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one.
This implementation is great. Like, they just did a bang up job. Of
So you've already gone out and bought like the super fancy version.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Maybe I'll buy that
Metal
one for you and
coins.
get rid of
3
my old
weeks.
one.
Yeah,
I'll get
3
rid of my
weeks,
older
you went
one and I'll buy that
That'll
one.
be a
for
deal
you.
on
The
this one,
standard
brother.
to the
Yeah,
super fancy. Yep.
I'll
went
trade you
from
my older
nothing-
copy that you can sell.
To borrowing a copy, to buying a copy,
0
to
60
upgrading the
in
copy.
3 weeks.
Well, and there's going to be a new Kickstarter for another where you can get the raw fancy version in the Kickstarter, but they're going to have also other, like a raw dice game.
Oh,
and some other stuff coming out.
Yeah, rolling right and stuff.
I don't need all that filler.
Nah.
But he's not wrong. Raw is an amazing game. And I never wanted to play it because I'm not a fan of bidding games. Wayne is the reason I've been trying out all these bidding games. And Raw it did not feel like a bidding game. It feels like a set collection, screw your neighbor, push your luck, have fun game. Because you can really, with those numeric numbers, knowing what powers they have and making it just good enough that they have to go for it. Yeah, feels good. He also talked about the WSBG, the World Series of Board Gaming. So I wanted us to touch on that before we get back to Slay the Spire. I watched, of course, Raw. So
Because I sent it to you and you.
yes, I've watched it 3 times now.
Really?
The Raw game, just listening to them talk
Final
about the
table?
strategies. Yes.
Yeah.
And watching that win and just to really marinate in that Raw. Anything that highlights from you guys, Chris? Did you watch any of the World Series of
I
Board
haven't
Gaming
watched any of
videos?
it yet. No.
I did not. No, I did not.
Yeah, I watch a little bit because like while I'm working, I'll have it up, and it's I want to go actually.
Yeah,
I don't know
I thought thinking about it. Yeah.
like I would go to just game and then maybe jump into one of the game, like maybe one
Little side
but-
things.
yeah, side things. But like, I've watched like the Castles of Burgundy, and I watched the Raw, and I watched the what's the city the hotel building game Acquire. I watched the Acquire.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I'm
that's a
like,
good
I'm a
video.
pretty decent Castles of Burgundy player, but I'm watching the final table and I'm like, these guys are like serious. Like this is a little like it's a level where I'm like, I'm
Above.
not sure. Yeah.
I think each table has like 1 or 2 MIT graduates. Like,
Yeah,
big brains over there.
Yeah. I did watch, I did watch they had a it wasn't a table game, but they played Terraforming Mars, and it was Tom and it was Bonacore. And it was the head guy from the World Series board game, and it was Jacob Frexilius, the designer of the game, and they played Terraforming Mars together, and that was interesting because like Tom's a good gamer and Bonacore's a good gamer, and just watching like Jake the Frexilius guy and the guy from World Series of board game, you're like, okay, that's crazy. Like they were on a level that was crazy. I mean, he's a designer of the game, right? So he's gonna
He's gonna know all the ins and outs. Yeah.
Did they play with drafting?
I think they did. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
I hope so.
we
It's the only way to
approve.
play.
Carlos and Rob
it's the only way
approve.
to play. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, you were teaching us. We had just finished talking about roguelite. You introduced me to what that means, so now I have a better understanding as you were sharing more about your plays of Slay the Spire. So if you want to continue that.
So this is an example when I talk about like roguelike. You see how there are things that you can achieve for the different classes, and then there's what's called ascension. As you actually complete and are successful in playing the game, you start to unlock like basically more difficulty levels, which give you a some different options, and you can also get some unlocks and stuff. For example, this is a pack of bosses for the what's known as Act 4. The game itself is basically 3 acts, and then if you decide to continue up in the more difficulty levels, it also opens up in Act 4. But you don't actually open this. I have not opened it yet, but you don't open this until you actually unlock it. Now you could always just yeah, you can just open it all if you really wanted to, but what's the fun in that? So
Exactly, I agree.
A lot of fun.
No,
that's
no.
that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about for a roguelike, is if you actually follow the rules that are within it and actually achieve the unlocks and open up the new stuff, it expands the board game slowly. The components within are actually really good. These are the player boards. They're the dual layer player boards where the pieces sit inside and you can't move them around without actually
Nice.
picking them up.
Yep.
That's always something I've always loved. I think the first time I actually really saw that was with like Scythe. Scythe did that. It's got really nice inserts for all the player pieces and stuff like that. There is one problem though with the game that I can show you here in a minute. And the problem is with the sleeves. The sleeves look like this. So when you have a card and you upgrade it, you take it out of the sleeve and you flip it because it's double-sided card, as you can see.
Wait, do that again. That was weird.
Yeah, it's upside down. Yeah.
So this is like
they printed it weird. Like it turns on the short axis, not the long axis. That's weird.
And the sleeves are clear on one side, but they have Slay the Spire on the other, on the back. Problem with this is this Slay the Spire part peels very easily.
I've seen that.
I have, it's a common problem with this game itself. Apparently, they've somewhat resolved it. And if you contact Contention Games, they will actually send you new sleeves. I've been playing with it like as is. I could find a sleeve that's falling apart here.
Well, and like Carlos, you've played Balatro, right?
On the phone, yes.
On the phone, that's a roguelike. So like similar saves, Balatro and Slay the Spire are both in the same roguelike universe type games.
I stunk at Balatro. It was bad.
See how the edge of the sleeve is peeling?
Yeah.
That's a thing. The Star Wars, the newest Star Wars
deck building game,
not the deck builder, but the new
limited
collecting card. Is it unlimited? Yeah, or limited Star Wars, whatever that newest one is. That's the same thing. I heard, Chris, that they've got defective sleeves. If you buy the deluxe version of it with all the sleeves, and the same thing is happening. It's peeling off the back, and so this is not isolated just to Slay the Spire, but it seems to be a thing.
What I think is crazy is, and not crazy, but like, so Slay the Spire is this roguelike video game that's super popular. I played it a ton. My wife is constantly playing it. She's beaten it several times. I've never even come close to Slaying the Spire.
No, me either.
She's beaten it a few times. But like the fact that the board game version of it is so successful, it's in the top 30 or it's 30. It's in the top 50 of all time for board games on BGG. That's kind of crazy. Like that, how successful that implementation is. Like I wouldn't have thought that they would be able to do such a good job converting the video game roguelike into a board game.
Yeah,
That's
with
crazy.
a new designer, like a first-time designer. This is his first time designing a game to be able to do it this well.
Yeah.
If you want to know something funny about this board game is, okay, so it's a board game adaptation of a video game.
Sure. Yep.
Well, the video game is easily modded, so there's mods out there you can find on Steam. And one of the Steam mods is a video game adaptation of the board game that's an adaptation of the video game. so what I mean is when you go in there and you add that mod and you play the video game version, it becomes the board game version.
Wow.
Which is actually pretty cool because, you know, you can possibly play it like a tabletop simulator, but when you actually play the actual video game itself, a lot of that stuff is automated and stuff like that. And it's actually a really cool mod. If you have the video game and you want to learn the board game, you can download the mod for it.
Nice. That's good to know.
That's trippy.
Yeah.
My
This
brain
was
hurts
one.
thinking about it.
This was on the Hot Games table at Dice Tower East 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I kind of regret not playing it because it looked like it's a big box, a lot of cards. You know, like we should have tried it then, but I'll have to find a copy and play it soon because this seems cool.
Yeah.
Well, I got a copy, so if you ever want to play it, you can
you
schedule
go.
it. Come out
Yep.
TGG on Sunday.
Hit 'em up
Definitely.
TGG. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think my wife would enjoy it too because she loves the video game. She plays it nonstop, so I'm sure we could suck her because I like how so you can play it solo or you can play it 2-player, and the 2-player you're kind of quasi cooperative, right? Is that what it is?
So in that picture you see right there, there's 3 different players, obviously, for 3 different classes. And you notice how there's a row for each class of monsters? The way it works is you're actually fighting your row, but you don't have to attack your row. Your row is attacking you, but you can attack any of the row. So if you're really good and you wipe out your row, then you start helping your other teammates with their monsters. But you all live and die together. So if anyone dies, then you all lose the game. So there's cooperative that way in there where you can share your defense with other players or share your powerful attacks with other players while they're struggling to stay alive. So it really is you sit down and you talk and you strategize for each round and how it's going to go, and you all work together. It's very cooperative. And if you like the video game, I think you would really like the board game version of it.
Nice. Cool. I'll have to give it a try.
I've only played the video game version. I wanted to try the board game version. So yeah, we'll have to maybe schedule something sometime, get all of us over there.
Friend of the show, Pat Brown, messaged me that he had just downloaded it and has been playing it. We're going together this weekend to Atlanta for that race. Mm-hmm. He said he downloaded it and he's been playing the bejesus out of
the video game version
on his phone. When I first got it.
Carlos, I think you would enjoy the video game version as well.
Maybe I'll make him drive so that I can play.
So, Carlos, the video game version is really your deck building, right? And as you're defeating monsters and climbing the spire, every time you defeat monsters or you go to a treasure, you go to the camp, you're collecting cards and you're kind of refining your deck. And there's 3 or 4 base characters to try. And each of the characters there's like a magic character, there's like a fighter character, and there's like a roguelike character, rogue character. And you're developing your deck and you have to keep refining it. And it gets harder and harder and harder. And there's like 3 stages to the spire. And so you're constantly like, if you're hone in on one strategy, then you keep moving on.
Here's the part that I have questions on as a roguelite, right? That term we used earlier. Mm-hmm. I struggle with those games because when I lose, it's like, oh, you got to do it again. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what's the joy in doing it again? If I'm losing a lot, does the game provide me any handicaps, any assistance on the next run?
Just keep refining your deck.
Do it better.
Change your deck. Well, you learn, like, I do a run through the spire and I fail miserably. Well, that deck didn't work. So adding these cards didn't work right? Or you learn, it's basically rinse and repeating your climbs through the spire. You learn what cards and combinations work better. And so you're kind of like, it's like, you've seen the movie War Games, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like teaching Whopper or what's the computer's name? Keep teaching how to play tic-tac-toe, right? Like you're constantly figuring out like what's the strategy. So you're learning as you go.
And it's different every time you play. Just I guess I don't know if you know, Carlos, but every time you play and you go up the spire, there's a different arrangement of.
So you're not replaying the exact same board.
Oh, no, it's different boards, different monsters.
The bad guys change every time. So there's different bad guys all over the place. There are. I haven't played in a while. It's been a couple of years since I played. But there's areas where you can rest, and it'll change the rest areas. It'll change there's areas where you can go and buy cards. So those little storefront thing or shops change, and so the whole tree that you go and you make. There's all kinds of branches, and so you can decide. You can see ahead. You can see if I go this way, I'm going to fight 2 bad guys and then get to a store, or if I go this way, I'm going to fight 1 boss and then I'm going to get a rest. I'm going to have a camp and I can go rest and recover my hit points. And so you have to make all these decisions which way you're going to go up this ladder, go up this tree to try to get to the top of the spire to fight the big bad at the top. So.
Hey, Chris, how do they implement that into the board game? So Rob's talking about a lot of fun stuff that he's enjoying in the video game, with branching paths and deciding, which fight to have or which room to go to. How do they board gameize that?
So here's the board itself. You start out here at the bottom, and some of the options as you follow your way up are printed, as you can see. However, there are spots that look like this, which are white and black tokens. The tokens get placed on the board randomly without you looking at them, and you flip them over. So after those are placed, everyone as a team decides, okay, we're going to go this way, and then we're going to follow this way and fight this guy, and then we're going to fight the boss. There's 3 different bosses that you can fight, and it's basically a die roll to determine which one that you want to fight. You roll a die, and then you're going to know which monster at the end you're going to fight, so that when you're at the beginning and you start working your way up, you know the strategies that the boss is going to use to try and defeat you, so you can try and counter that as you work your way up.
Very cool.
Now here's a thing, right? Here's the thing for me. I went to go download the game. I watched the little videos on my Play Store app, right? Okay, I'm gonna download. It was like $10, and I'm like, $10. I might as well just buy the board game. So I switch over to Amazon and I start looking for the board game.
Board game's
and I'm
pricey.
like, $100, $100 for a deck builder?
$10 sounds
Like
better.
I can buy Vantage for like 60% of that price. What is it about this game that is worth $100? Is it worth $100?
Yeah, it's a big box full of stuff.
It's a big box. Let me change my camera real quick. I can show you the actual internal box here real quick.
Yeah, while he's doing that, like the $10 for the video game version, definitely not. It's regularly on sale for like $2, $3, $4 at various sources. So it's always on sale.
So as you can see, it's got all kinds of different cards, molded miniatures here. There are different different for hit point tracking, but there are a lot of cards, and they all are sleeves. Like the whole thing is sleeves. Now we talked about the problem with the sleeves.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then they've got dividers for all the different options here. Some of the stuff's locked as well. Small cards here. But there is a lot of content that is within the actual box itself. So that is why it's so expensive.
Okay.
That's
now that you're showing me a box full of sleeved cards, it makes sense. I have many $30 games where I've invested $50 in sleeves just to sleeve the $30 game. So I can now see why it's $100. That makes sense. So the sleeves aren't optional. It comes with the game.
They come with the game. There's like 500-ish cards or whatever. Plus, they come with some additional extra sleeves as well. There's a pack of additional sleeves that I haven't used yet, as you can see. So those ones that are starting to peel, when they get to the point where I can't play with them anymore, I swap them out. So there's a lot of stuff in that box for what you spend.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that twig. That sounds like it's a hit.
It's a good game. I recommend it.
Yeah.
At the Federspiel house. I want to play it for the cooperative nature of it. I think my wife likes deck builders. I think this being a cooperative and having some combat would be enjoyable. It's that $100.
It's a play before you buy, Carlos, for you, I think.
Okay.
This is what I suggest. Go on Steam, buy the video game. It's not super expensive. Install the mod for the board game, and then play the board game version.
There you go.
And if you don't like it, you're only out the cost of Slay the Spire. But trust me, when you play Slay the Spire, you're going to want to play it anyway. So you're not going to be out that money. If you like it and you want to put it at the table, then it's worth money to you.
That's a good idea. Yeah, because I think I own it on the PlayStation, but it's a good idea to buy it on Steam because of that mod. I like that idea. That's good.
Wayne, any twigs to highlight? Any major highlights for twigs?
Yeah. I mean, I played a bunch of games, but I kind of want to highlight a small little card game real quick. Because I kind of liked it. It was fun. It was a trick taker. So Yokai Septet was this little trick taking game that I played at Necronomicon, and it follows kind of very similar rules to most other trick takers, right? So you have the deck of cards, and but what's interesting is let me see if I can find a good photo of it. The one sort of crazy rule it had was you're trying to win. There are this isn't the copy. The number 7 is like a foil card in the copy that I had, and how you win the game it's basically like spades. It's like 2-on-2, right? It's 2 versus 2, and I think you can play a 3-on-3, a three player, and it's kind of like all for itself. But I think the game is a 2 versus 2, very much like spades, and you win the game by winning 4 of the 7 sevens, right? So you have to, in the trick. If you win a trick and it has one of the foil 7s in it, you win that trick. And so you win the round by winning 4 of the 7s. You lose by winning 7 tricks without winning 4 7s. And so there's this whole idea of I'm not just trying to win tricks. I'm trying to win tricks where me or my partner are throwing at a 7, or where we're forcing our opponent to throw in a 7 where we can then win the trick. And so it's kind of figuring out when you can play off suit. There's a kind of look at the games. You have and each of the colors has kind of a different spread of cards. So let me see if I can zoom in here. Here we go. This is good. So if you look at here, so the green only has A, and then through 7, and A is like an automatic win, and then you have A through 7, and then 2 through 8, and so like each of the colors has a different spread of numbers as well. So when you deal out the cards and you're playing the tricks, you have to try to figure out, okay, well, I got the 13 of the blue or whatever it is, and I have the 7. Well, that's bad. So I want to try to win a trick where I can play the 7 as an offsuit where my partner wins it, and then later on I can play the 13 to win a trick where he can throw a 7 from a different color offsuit to win. So it's kind of like this little bit of a kind of a different style of trick taker. It follows all the same rules as your normal trick taker. You got suits, and you can play on suit, off suit, sluff, whatever. But you're trying to manipulate the hands to get the 7.
Is it a must follow or may follow?
It's
May.
good.
You said you
May.
could slough, yeah.
Yeah, you can
So
slough.
probably
Yeah.
You can always just throw off.
Wait, what did you say?
Slough. You can throw off.
What
Slough.
is that word?
Slough.
SLUF?
SLOUF.
OUF. rather.
OUF.
OUGH. I mean, slough. It's like when you
yeah.
play off suit. When you play off suit, when you throw a
I didn't
card
know
off
that.
suit.
That's a new term for me.
Mhm, you
Oh,
slough
is it? There you
off.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
slough off.
Briskas. You can slough off in briskas?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I think
yeah.
if you have a color, you got to play it. I think, but it was kind of cool. It was interesting.
I think
'Cause it
what's
wasn't-
interesting to me is what you described with the 7 having that variable power based on its location and the range of the suit.
of the suit. Yeah.
That's cool because you would think, okay, 7s are middle of the road. Well, not in this suit. In this suit, it's garbage.
Yeah.
Right.
In a different suit, it's powerful.
Reminds me a little bit
Powerful.
also of Brian Baru. Brian Baru, very different. It's trick taking is a little piece of a bigger game, but in Brian Baru, those numbers are those colors, those 4 different suits. Those numbers only are certain numbers, and they don't. If I have the red 8, I won't be able to get the blue, 8 because there is no blue 8. It's a blue 15 or something. So
It's staggered.
you got to know kind of the layout of things. What numbers everything is of each suit. So yeah.
Here's the version I played. It had like the 7s that are kind of like, and they're foil. They don't look necessarily foil in the photo, but it's cool. There's a couple of different versions of the game. But I thought it was a very small box little trick taking game that I played at Necronomicon, and it was fast. And I just like the concept of it. It's very if you're familiar with spades and euchre or whatever, any kind of trick taking game, you pick this up easy. But the complex is you're not really just trying to win tricks. Like you can win all the tricks, or 7 or 8 tricks. But if you're not winning the tricks with the 7 in it, you have to win 4 of those. I think there's 7 7s, so if you win 4 of the 7, if you don't, and so you could also kind of play the other way where it's like, well, I have a kind of a shitty hand. I don't have a lot of 7s, so let's let my opponents win trick after trick without a 7 in, and if they win so many tricks without getting the 4 7s, then they lose.
Yep.
So
That's an enjoyable feeling when you can force your opponent to win tricks
right.
and watch them break down emotionally.
I can't get rid of the lead.
Yeah.
I gotta win another one.
I can't, like, we need to get this 7. Yeah. And like, it's cool. The cards have the little, like, right here, you can kind of see. Let me see. You can kind of see this one here is 7, is A through 7, right? And you've got, you can see here the card. Like, over here.
Okay, so the
2 through
card
8.
does tell
Card
you
shows you the range of numbers that is in that,
for that
color.
suit.
For that
I was
color
wondering
suit.
because I saw that in a different version of the game
Yeah.
where it had like a 2-8, and I'm like, what does that mean?
That's
Now I see it.
the range of cards in that suit. So it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It is very. I think the game says 3 to 4, so I think at 3 players it's free for all. It's like me versus you versus Rob, whoever can win the 7s. But I think this game probably hits better at a 4-player only as a trick taker. So it's kind of limited in its thing. But it's a little small box game.
Yeah,
that probably a couple bucks. So it's, whatever, you can play it. So it was enjoyable. I thought it was good. And in the realm of trick takers, this was a unique take on it where it was like, well, you're not just trying to win tricks, because if you just win tricks, you lose. You need to win tricks with the 7 in it. Then you're good. So yeah, Yokai Septet.
Nice. That's a new one. I haven't heard of it.
Rob, anything you want to highlight?
We can make it right again, or probably not. I would assume not.
I'm going to try
You're gonna
again.
go again?
We're going back to
All right,
Chris
all right.
after this.
Okay, all right.
But
gotcha.
any one game you want to highlight?
Yeah, see, I played a bunch of small games because Jim and I have been, Jim, friend of the show, and I have been doing popcorn booths for the Boy Scouts almost every weekend, pretty much every weekend together. And so we've been just bringing little games that we can play while the boys are selling their popcorn. So just a couple, we played Patchwork. I learned Tiny Epic Western, which I
want to play
lot.
that.
I thought it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It turned out to be better than I thought it was going to be. I also played Jarl. I introduced Jim to Jarl. Man, Jarl was difficult. It's we played a lot of the Duke.
The Duke.
Yeah, the Duke. And Jarl took the Duke and made it more complicated. And I forgot why I stopped playing it, but as soon as I played it with Jim, I remember why I stopped playing it, because it is complicated. But anyway, Jim was like, no, never again. So it's
Too complex for Jim?
Oh, yeah, that game took us over an hour, I think, to play.
Of Jarl?
We went through every tile in the bag. Yeah, it was, and we actually didn't even win. We ended up a stalemate. It was the two Jarls were the only thing left on the board, and we just decided to quit. We were like, nobody's ever going to win this, so we seceded, yeah, whatever. Conceded. There we go. Conceded.
That's interesting.
I played Ganza Index, which was an interesting little market game, and I'm going to blast through those. If I get a chance at the end, I'll come back to Ganza Index.
Well, if you want to highlight that one, you can.
No, the one I want to highlight is Aqua Garden. So Daryl taught us Aqua Garden. We started solar, whatever the solar is, 195, 175.
Solar some numbers.
Solar some number, yes. Yeah,
1874, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, 1932. I don't know what it is, but solar. So it's a campaign game. So we finished up not Tiny Epic Western. We finished up Ticket to Ride. Rails to the West, I think is what it's called, the legacy version. And so we were looking for our next legacy game to jump into. Jim has had this Solar XXX, whatever the numbers are afterwards, game for a while.
Solar 175?
175, that sounds like it. Yeah, that's the one, 175. Yeah. And so we jumped into that, and I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I won't go into too much depth. I'll talk about it in a later show when after we've got a few games under our belt. But we played kind of the tutorial version of it, and this is one of those games that it's an indeterminate number of games. It'll go however long it goes until we get a winner. Until we, it is competitive. We're playing, but it is it's a resettable legacy game from what I understand. But it's pulling stuff out of a bag, which was kind of cool for a legacy game. I thought it's kind of like Orleans, one of my favorite games of all time, and so real cool. But again, I'll get more into depth. But the reason I mentioned that Ganza Index was a smaller economic game that was based off the bigger game. So if I get a chance again, I'll come back to that. But after that, going back to Aqua Garden, my real point here was to
make a short story long.
Daryl taught us Aqua Garden afterwards. He had gotten it in recently, and what to say about Aqua Garden? So Aqua Garden it's kind of the hotness now. I've seen it a lot of different places. I guess they're getting ready to do a Kickstarter with this is the new box art here that you're pulling up over on the BGG. We played the Kickstarter version that Daryl got in, which has several expansions in it. We actually didn't play all the expansions. I'm sure that made Jim quite upset, but we played, I think, just with one little mini expansion, some expansion cards. But Aqua Garden is I guess I'm going to call it set collection. What you got is you got your personal player board. It's got 6 little aquariums that you are acquiring fish or sharks or corals, different things that you can put into your little aquariums. And you've got a little aquarium keeper, a little reef keeper that's kind of moving around a certain number of spots around your personal player board. And then on the main board where everybody's interacting, there is a track around the outside. And what you're doing is every round, the game is 4 rounds long. You go around the main board 4 times. And as you go around, it's one of these games, I think they call it a ratchet mechanic. It's kind of like Takedo, where you can go as far along the track as you want, but the person who's last always goes next. And so basically you've got all these cool little, as you're seeing here, if you're able to see on if you're not listening later, you're watching us live, all these cool little fish and sharks and turtles and seahorses and all these things that you're acquiring by moving around the big board. They're just randomly each round placed in the different spots on the main board. And what you do again is you decide from spot 1 to about 30 spots around this main board. You can go around, you can go as far as you want, but wherever you stop, you take that specimen, that animal, that aquatic feature, and you are then you're moving on your player board up to 3 spaces, and then you have to put it into one of the 2 aquariums that your aquarium keeper is adjacent to. There's some rules. Each aquarium only has support for 6 oxygen, and so each of the different animals or different things require a certain amount of oxygen to survive, and so you're trying to optimize your layout. There are some objectives. It reminds me of Cascadia in some ways. There are some objectives that are put out, public objectives that people are racing for to try to be the first one to get 2 of this type of fish and 2 of that type of fish and 2 corals maybe into one of their tanks, or an all shark tank where you have 3 or more sharks all in one tank. And as soon as you do that, you score. You go to there's 4 spots up to a 4-player game. You take the highest point value, and the next person does it gets the next one. And then you also get a bonus. You get there's some rare sea life, aquatic life, that if you're the first person to fulfill that objective, you'll get an extra couple little exotic fish that you can put in. We also played with one of the expansions that I'm seeing here in the picture that's up now. It had 3 cards at the top that each had 4 different bonus ones, and the little squid there in the picture there was the bonus for this one, and that gives you some kind of multiplier. So if you had the squid in a tank, you scored 1 additional point for every unique type of aquatic feature you had in there. So each unique type of fish or seahorse or sea turtle, and then there's little variants. Like the turtles require algae to be in the tank, and so you have to acquire algae from another market board that you could go to buy algae or buy the coral pieces and put them in your tank. Very light. I understand that as you add in some of these expansions that it makes it more gamery, but I think if you like Cascadia, it's kind of on that level. You're just it's real chill. It is a competitive game, although the 4 of us that were playing, Sam, Daryl, and Jim are super competitive people. But this was one that we all were like, okay, this is a pretty chill game. We were just, all right, let's just build the little aquariums. Let's, make it look pretty and put cool stuff in there. There's a little bit of a racing element to get to the different things. Everybody who's watched the show on any kind of regular basis knows I am the aquarist guy. I've got 3 fish tanks in my house. I got a 100-gallon, a 30-gallon, and a 20-gallon. I do saltwater. I do freshwater. This is the type of game that normally would super, super appeal to me. I thought it was good. I mean, it was, again, but I don't love, just for the background, I don't love Cascadia. Cascadia's a good game, but it's not one that I do backflips over. I think I need to try it maybe with some of the expansion stuff that makes it a little more difficult, a little more multiplying some of your score in different ways by acquiring different things and different aquatic life. But this one is like I say, it's a super chill. So I think this is very family weight, and kids. This is just the standard version of the game.
Wait, all these meeples are the standard version?
Those little cool little painted up meeples of all the different fish and sharks and all that. They are all just the regular version of the game. So it's looks awesome on the table. It's really a eye catcher, and it'll bring people over. And like I say, I think this is the new version that here that we're showing on BGG is the Kickstarter that's getting ready to come back out. And I think you can get most or all of the expansion content with the Kickstarter that's coming back around. But what they got? A 7.4 rating. What's the weight on this?
2.15.
So yeah, it's less than average. So what a 2.5, I guess, is considered kind of average weight game. So
I would think 3.
Yeah, 3.
I feel like 3 is like your average game.
So, okay, so 2.15 tells you the story then. So that's even more closer to a 2. So yeah, really light. But there is some competitive. Like I said, there's some races. There's a couple things you're trying to complete first or second to get some bonuses, to get more points. The scoring at the end is super quick. You're just adding, I think, 2 things. It was actually funny. We were playing on BG Stats, or we were keeping our stats on BG Stats, and Daryl was like, I wonder if there's a score sheet in here. Oh, yeah, of course there is. So he clicks the score sheet. It's just 2 rows of boxes, and he's like, oh boy. So this doesn't even need a score sheet because it's so quick and easy to score. So but yeah, it was a good time. I wish I liked it a little more, just because it is that underwater aquarium thing going on that I love. I love my game set in that, but that's scenario. But yeah, it was good. I definitely would play it again, but I want to play with some of the expansion stuff and see if that makes it a little more complicated.
At $150, would you play it again?
Ooh, I definitely would not. Not if I had to pay $150 for it. So, wow, yeah, that's it's got cool components. I'll say that. So for $150, I guess that's what you're getting. But yeah, it was a
Thanks
fun
for
game.
that.
Yep.
That warns the folks at home. Not as deep as you were hoping it would be.
No, super light, but fun.
It's the shallow end of the aquarium pool of games.
Liked it a lot. 2 out of 10. Yeah.
Chris, and any other highlights you want to go through? I know you mentioned Battle of Hoth.
Carlos
on my
bring
list.
that one up. Yeah.
I got a couple things. You can either talk about Battle of Hoth or the Argentina Great Western Trail. Which one you guys want to hear about?
I know which one I prefer, but I know which one he prefers. So go ahead with Battle of Hoth.
I will bring up Battle of Hoth. You bring up
Okay, there you go.
Argentina, and then you can talk during mine.
There you go.
All right. One thing real quick. Rob, I will have Slay the Spire at SpielCon, so we can play it there.
Ah, nice. Okay, coming up. I was gonna before you leave, we gotta just throw that out there, even though I know it's not a super necessarily open to the public kind of thing, but we gotta promote it a little bit. Maybe next year people can get on board with SpielCon. It's coming up this weekend. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. So Battle of Hoth. I guess the best way to describe Battle of Hoth is, Memoir 44, but with stormtroopers.
Mhm.
It has the exact same problems that Memoir 44 has, which is basically that if you draw cards that don't work for your layout, you're kind of stuck and you're just kind of sitting there doing nothing while your opponent is destroying you. That being said, I really enjoyed it. My wife loves anything that says Star Wars on the box, so she was excited to get this to the table. She beat snot out of me both games that we played, so that's always a plus in my book.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did like about this, though, is that it has different leaders that you can actually add to your decks. So if you've never played Memoir 44, you've got a bunch of basic cards that you can play that will allow you to activate units that are in 3 different regions on the board. But the leaders kind of take that and throw it out the window and just say that you can do whatever you want with some of the specific units, or just do something completely unique, like they can heal units and get them back to full, stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, which I thought was actually really cool. Components are basically what you would expect. The nice thing, though, is it's got little baby at-ats. Who doesn't love at-ats?
And the pieces are cool.
Yeah, the pieces are really cool. It's got pieces for all the parts. And since I bought the game pre-order, I got even some of the promo pieces as well.
Oh, you got the little box of the shield generator,
the shield generator, and the ion cannon. Yeah.
Yep. Who doesn't love little at-ats? But it also comes with a scenario book that has teenish level of count of scenarios. I don't know the exact count, but you could actually go through a scenario, with your faction, and it kind of expands the game. It starts you out with the first mission. It's like with pretty basic units and pretty basic actions, and then it kind of expands it with different board states and more units and larger variety of stuff like that. I obviously haven't played through the entire scenario, but it looks very interesting to be able to do the scenario as well.
I believe there's two campaigns in it, right?
Well, there's a scenario book that has the 18 or 20 or so scenarios, and then there's 2 campaigns which use a mixed match of the scenarios in the campaigns.
But what's really cool, because I have the Memoir 44 campaign book, in this setup, the 2 campaigns have 2 separate booklets. So the Empire player and the Rebel player are playing off of 2 different sheets.
Nice.
So it's very interesting. I'm very interested in getting the campaign played.
Yeah, me too.
Like you said, there's 2 different campaigns, and as you can see, there's an Imperial and a Rebel side for each of the 2 different campaigns that you can do. Cool. Which introduce, I believe, specific rules for each of the different factions, but don't quote me on that.
Yep. And then there's additional cards that you can add to the deck that are specific to the campaign.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's about a dozen campaign cards that are specific for the different missions that you can do. I'm very interested to see where they take this, because if anyone that plays Memoir 44 knows there's a bazillion out of print expansions
before you close it, I want to bring up something here. Grab the board there, because I'm also very curious of where we're taking this. Notice board? in most Memoir 44 games or Command and Color games, it's usually a double-sided board, and you can pick one side or the other to 2 different terrain styles. On the back side, you have half of the big board. So if you have 2 boards, you now put them together and make a huge board to have a big epic battle. Over there in the corner, Chris has a shaky cam. I can have a shaky cam.
Yeah. Right. You gonna do that? Oh, shaky cam. Oh, you just
push
turned
the
it off.
button.
You just
Disconnected it.
Oh, man.
I was going to show you on my shaky cam. I have 2 copies over there, so I can put my 2 boards together and play one big game.
Well, and it's clear there's going to be expansions because if you look
Oh,
at the
yeah.
front of the box, it says like in the bottom right hand corner, like battle system or something like. I can't remember exactly what it says. Yeah, whatever. Galactic battles. You know, there's going to be Battle of Kashyyyk and Battle of Naboo and Battle of Coruscant and whatever, and they're going to bring in more and more. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm going to buy them all.
There's my 2 copies over there, and because I pre-ordered both of them. My 2 copies on that shelf over there, I got 2 sets of the ion cannons and shield generators. So I'm super excited about getting those to the table. But I also did get to play it. I played it with my son. I did one of the intro scenarios, the smaller ones, which was fun. We did, Chris, this is how Richard Borg, the designer of the game, I have all his games. I practically have all of his games in the Command & Color series, rulebook signed by him. Wonderful guy. The way they design it to be played is you play your side and then you swap, and then after that second game you add up the total number of medals that you won between both games, and that dictates the winner because every scenario is offset.
Yeah, they're a little
like
lopsided.
none of them are perfectly symmetrical. The units, forces, terrain, all that stuff. So by swapping, it allows you to play both sides, and you kind of get a more fair idea of who actually won that set. Because a lot of these games, you'll play in a battle where one side wins 75% of the time. So that's why it's good to swap with your opponent and play the other side. That's what we did. My son and I, he had a great time. So now it's time to move on and get the campaign going with him.
Yep. I played several games at Necronomicon, and this past weekend here locally in in the community I live in, met up with the guy and we played again. It's one of the more bigger scenarios to bring in the AT-ATs and bring in the speeders and everything. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to get the campaign played, and I can't wait for expansions because
they're coming.
Yeah.
That was also one of
my wife's looking for him too.
It's something that I want to get played more often. I'm excited. Games that I played, I won't highlight any other ones, but I will touch on Deliverance. So I finished up that first scenario skirmish game, not the actual campaign. And what I found is skirmish game wise, I'm like, this is okay. So I'm looking forward to trying the campaign, actually kind of playing a little bit of the campaign solo to see if that's where the joy is in the game. A lot of battle line being played here at the Cabrera house.
Schottentotten
battle line. I've got all 3 versions. The medieval, the ancient battles one, and the Schottentotten, which is it Scottish, Irish? I don't even know. They have kilts. It says
Scottish,
kilt or be
I think,
kilt.
yeah.
I don't know.
Scottish. Yep.
But I've been playing a lot of that with the boys, like all the boys, all 3 boys, and I'll have them play a couple matches, and I'll play winner. So it's almost like a little table at the house that the boys are swapping off on playing. So that's been a lot of fun, a lot of battle line. Thanks for Wayne for bringing Schottentotten to me on BGA and getting that itch going again. I've been playing Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth. Like that one's got to get played more. That's the Allies expansion is coming out. So Michael Fortino from Armada messaged me again today that I am on the list, confirming I am on the list to get a copy of that expansion that's coming out. I did talk about Northwood, the solo trick-taking game. BGA has a great tutorial. Try it out. It's a great way to play the game. And then finally been playing White Castle solo on BGA. You can actually, on BGA, just play by yourself solo. So it's a great way to play the game. I've never won a solo game. It is, even everyone on the boards will tell you the solo way is just
So you're playing against
too
an
hard.
AI or something on there?
Yeah, I played solo on the board.
Mm-hmm.
It's a deck of cards that you flop for the computer, and it tells you what die to pull off the bridges, and then you move meeples for it onto certain places. But it's always getting like 3 times your score, even on the easiest
I'll
mode.
have to try it and see. Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. But that's where I figured out that by getting a color, not only like placing black will trigger all black die icons on that room. I've never known that. I've been playing this game for so long, and I never knew that.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. Yeah.
It really makes you think about
take advantage of that.
what dice I'm going to take. Like I would always play taking the low dice I was like, oh, I just want to trigger my lantern over and over, right? But then I realized, no, you want the high dice because you're going to place it in a room that triggers it twice, and you get the money difference from the 3 to the 6.
Right.
So you're making money, you're activating it twice. White Castle, love it. So that is my twig for this last week.
Nice.
I've got Thunder Road Vendetta, Carnival of Chaos on the table. I got a message on, got a comment on our video that we did about Thunder Road.
Yep.
Somebody, I don't even know who they are. They commented on there saying, hey, by the way, the expansions are back available on the Shop. Expansion is back available on the website for Restoration Games. So that got my juices flowing again. I'm bringing this copy with me to Georgia. We normally play a racing game up there. When I'm with my cousin, we'll play a racing game. I'm going to take Thunder Road Vendetta with the Carnival Chaos expansion. That'll be our racing game for this weekend.
Seems like a lot of people, like, I'm not trying to poo-poo on your thing, but the Carnival Chaos with that, where it's just like you're all fighting in the middle, kind of like Twisted Metal style. People don't enjoy that as much as the actual just race version of it.
Oh, he's trying to adjust the camera. Hold on.
Nope, there you go.
Yeah. Kind of got it. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because you start off on the sideboard and then you drive into the center and then have this combat. I have not played this multiplayer yet, so I'm looking forward to getting a feel for what that's like.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to your input on that, because like I love Thunder Road Vendetta, just the race version where it's just chaos and it's, you know, Mad Max and you're racing towards whatever the end point is. So it'll be interesting to see the difference on, we're not racing towards the end point, we're just racing to the middle and then we're going to fight it out.
Arena style.
Yeah.
Now, my son is not a fan of Thunder Road Vendetta regular, and he's played a few times with me. So I'm looking forward to hearing his impressions of this version, because this might scratch the itch for other people who really didn't enjoy the race aspect of Thunder Road Vendetta vanilla. Like this chaos battle with super weapons and waypoints that you're trying to step on, like you're trying to hit these tokens on the board. You get on them and you pick up these super weapons that add, like, you know, heat-seeking missiles and lasers. Yes, there's even little. If you look over there on the board, those are balloons. Those are party favors. You pop the balloon and you get like these extra little bonuses that you add to your card. It's Mario Kart, you know, Mad Max Mario Kart. So I'll report back after this weekend in Atlanta for the big. I'm going up there for the big race. How it plays.
The big race.
Rob.
Yeah,
it is a 10-hour race. It's a pretty big race.
Oh, okay.
It's Petit Le Mans. It's the American Le Mans.
The little version? I think that means little.
It's little.
Well, I talked about pretty much everything I've been playing. The only other thing, I don't know whether Chris is a fan or not. I'm not going to get into it deep because I was into it deep last week when it hit my big board of top 20 played this year at number 8. But Civolution is my new love. I am loving me some Civolution. I played it only twice now, and I can't get enough. I told Jim again, I got to borrow it sometime. I got to bring it over here. I got to introduce it to you. I got to introduce it to Wayne. We got to play us some Civolution because that's I can't get enough of that right now. So it's on my mind a lot. But that's it's number 8 on my top 20 games played this year. But that's been my thing. So
have you played it again since the last time?
Right before last week's show. I played it Wednesday night before the Thursday show. So I mentioned it on that I played it for the second time right before we did our top 20 last week.
I'm curious to see if it moves up next month.
It might. Yeah.
All right, Chris, wrap us up with your final recap of your twig.
Are we talking about Argentina?
Games you didn't want to highlight, so like
Argentina.
just things that you played.
Argentina, what?
Oh, Argentina, that's right.
So I'm a Great Western Trail fan, always been since the first release of the first edition. And I picked up Argentina the other day and got to play out of it finally. And I enjoyed it.
How different is it? Yeah, how different is it?
It is not that much different than any of the others.
Okay.
But like the different versions of the Great Western Trail always have like a special mechanic that's unique to that version. And the version for Argentina is basically like you're shipping your cows to Europe and then doing additional deliveries there and making some additional money. Other than that, it's basically Great Western Trail. I enjoyed it because it's a Great Western Trail game, but I found that just like New Zealand is, it ends a little early because there's additional ways to make money. So I am still a fan of the original with the rails to the west. I think it's called the expansion.
Yep.
That's still going to be my favorite of all the different versions. I don't regret picking it up or anything. It's going to stay on my shelf for a while. Argentina is, but it just didn't add enough uniqueness to the game to relevant it making like my top 20 or anything like that. So
I've only played the original. I played like 10 times, and Jim keeps mentioning New Zealand because he's got New Zealand. So I want to try that out sometime just to see again how different they are. But I'm a fan. I didn't originally like Carlos and I. Neither one of us really originally liked Great Western Trail when we played it.
Didn't hate
a
it.
couple of times. Yeah, it was
Just didn't
okay.
love
It was okay. But the more I played it, the more I liked it. So
that was getting to my question. I was going to say, Chris. So for me, like I like Great Western Trail. It's a good game. I really enjoy it. But like Maracaibo, for me. Is Alexander Pfister? Is it Pfister?
For Maracaibo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
same guy, same person.
Yeah.
And I think Maracaibo is better than Great Western Trail. It was more enjoyable for me personally. Have you played Maracaibo, and where do you stack the two as far as Maracaibo versus Great Western Trail?
I have played Maracaibo. It is very similar to Great Western Trail. It has the track mechanic.
And
yeah. I just don't own Maracaibo, so I haven't played it other than times that other people have brought it to the table. But it is a very good game. I do enjoy it. But I own the OG Great Western Trail with the OG expansion.
The three ugly guys on the cover.
Oh,
yeah. But honestly, in my opinion, of all the versions that I've played, it's the most superior.
Yeah.
The game lasts a little bit longer, so it actually feels like it gets more developed. The difference between Argentina and New Zealand is they introduce different ways to make additional money as opposed to just selling your cows. Which means it ends a little bit sooner because you're not as money restrictive. So it gets to the point where people are just purchasing points over and over and over again that much sooner, and then just lapping the board as quickly as possible to end it.
Gotcha. Cool. Interesting.
Yeah, I prefer tight economies in the game. So yeah, I'm not sure that I like either one of those more than the original, but I guess I'll try them to see. Yeah.
It's definitely worth trying once. I would definitely suggest trying it once. In my opinion, the OG still reigns supreme.
Okay, cool.
Wayne, any final twigs for you?
I'm not gonna get into it. This past weekend, I got to play Spirit Island, or the Horizons of Spirit Island, which is
version.
It's like a more mass market version of Spirit Island,
Play school version.
Yeah,
just simpler, like easier to get to the table. All the similar rules. And I also played the Castles of Mad King Ludwig, which is the first time I've ever played that one, and really not nearly as complex as I thought it would, and different. I like the concept that in your bidding, like one person sets the rooms
prices,
the prices for the rooms, and you're bidding for them, and you're trying to, it was cool. It was not what I expected, so it was interesting. And I definitely would play it again. I'm looking forward to playing it again now that I know how to play. So it was.
Never want to play it again. Never want to play it again.
One time.
Carlos, you don't like it, Carlos?
He played it with me one time where after it came out, and I want to say I probably won that game because I know he did not like it. So.
I guess I'm not a bidding game guy. Yeah. I don't know how to value stuff. I'm like, Rob, I'll pay you $100 for that room.
Okay.
The architect could be so evil in that game if they really want to be.
Yeah. And there's definitely some of that. I'm like, oh, you definitely want that room. Let's make that the most expensive possible. And it was good. I enjoyed it. A little fiddly with like the rooms, and like as you put it together and you bump them, and you're constantly trying to figure that out, but it was good. I liked it. And then Spirit Island, or Horizons of Spirit Island.
Horizons worth it? Like they help the folks at home.
You've never played regular full Spirit Island, right?
I've never played full Spirit Island either, so don't really have a frame of reference. It was okay. I mean, again, the rules are a little complex. Like even for the Horizon, like I'm like, wow, this is okay. There's a lot here, and there's a lot of the interaction and how you cooperate. That it's like a cooperative game on steroids, because you really need to like coordinate all your actions and cards and how you play the fast versus the slow, and when the people do their turn. It was enjoyable. It was okay. I'll play it again, but I wasn't wowed by it.
The game can definitely suffer from quarterbacking a little bit, even though you have cards that are in your hand. But I have found usually that there's an alpha player who will jump in on that and will nick.
There's a lot to it.
Well, we'll tell everybody exactly how the game should play out. So yeah. Anyway,
There's a lot there. Like it's definitely I can see where someone who knows the game can really quarterback that.
Rob,
And
show me on this
Nick.
show me
Love
on
you,
this
Nick.
board game
Yeah,
where
love
Nick hurt you.
Yeah, right here and there, and then there. No. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, thank you for that. Let's get into some other geeky goodness. That OGG, yeah, you know me. We're gonna get into the other geeky goodness part of the show, Chris. This is where we talk about like other stuff that's outside of the board gaming hobby, but we're all geeks and we have different things we geek out on. And this is where we get to share those other loves. So I'll give you a quick rundown on mine. Other geeky goodness for me has been Only Murders in the Building. We're still keeping up with that, but here's the cool part,
Is it
right?
getting
Like
better? Yeah.
it's not okay. It's not that it's getting better or worse. I am enjoying it because of the addition of the actor Christopher Waltz. Christopher
He's
Waltz
amazing. Love him. Yeah. So good.
He's the guy from, if you haven't watched Inglourious Bastards, he plays the hunter.
Colonel Landa.
And then in Django Unchained, right, he's the guy that's helping Django find his wife. He's got such range. But here he is, and he's got this strong like accent to him. We're watching, we're enjoying, we're laughing. But at a certain point, my wife and I turned to each other immediately because he said figures.
Oh,
And like as soon as he said it,
That's you.
like my wife and I both looked at each other and like snickered.
He's
like
got the same deficiency as you.
because Wayne apparently pointed out that
You can't say
I
figures.
can't say figures.
Figures.
So I'm not the only one. That's Only Murders in the Building.
Oh
Enjoying
yeah,
that
that's
still.
on my list. That was on my list of geeky goodness too.
I haven't started the season
caught up.
yet,
We're
so-
caught up to it. It's great,
Yeah.
and I love the guy from Key and Peele.
Yes, the mayor.
He plays the mayor of New York City, and it's hilarious.
It's good. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
It's getting
Okay, I
gooder.
gotta
It's getting
start it.
gooder.
Sounds like I gotta
There's a
start
deeper
watching.
plot down there.
Yeah, okay.
It's not just a murder in the building.
And Martin Short and
Steve
They're supposed to be in
Steve
Tampa.
Martin.
I think
Yeah.
in the Tampa Bay area. I think this weekend.
They're doing a world tour or something right now.
I think they're in like St. Pete this weekend or something. And
Yeah.
I'm in Atlanta. Wifey was upset because she thought we can go see them, but I'm out of town this weekend.
and I think Selena Gomez is highly underrated. She's
Congratulations on her wedding.
Yeah, she plays a straight man so good in that because
Yeah.
the deadpan, the way she does her lines is hilarious.
Which plays well with the two Martin Short, kind of going way over the top, dramatic.
Of course.
Like it
I love-
just plays well.
My boy I went to high school with the robot is hilarious.
Yes. I'm starting to get a little worried about his fascination with the
with
new
the-
Lester. I'll leave that for y'all to watch.
Okay, yeah, inside.
Book wise, I finished Dungeon Crawler Carl, Volume 1, which is what they call RPG lit. And not lit like the kids say,
lit?
where things are lit because they're
Literature.
cool. It's like literature. So it's like RPG style literature of almost like a video game, like reading about this guy going through what feels like a video game, dungeon crawler, leveling up, getting spells, him and his cat. It's so interesting, but it's so over the top. Like there's some stuff in there where I'm like, what am I reading here? Like this is like real crazy stuff. Like anyway, I will allow y'all to enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to book 2, right? Part of it is I'm not going to spoil it. They've gone through a certain number of levels of the dungeon, and he has to get through a certain number to win whatever the game is that's happening to him. And I'm like, if this is the case, this is going to take forever. Like this is going to be a 30-book series for him to get through this whole dungeon. So I don't know if I'll go to book 2, but it was enjoyable, recommended. But now that I'm done reading that, I'm in this.
You lost me a cat, but go ahead.
I'm in the thick of it here with the nerd stuff. So I'm reading The Crusaders: The Authoritative History of the War for the Holy Land by Thomas Asbridge, and it's as thick as you can imagine it is. But I'm also doing it on Audible, so like at night I put it on to fall asleep to, but then I rewind it back so I know where I left off. I'm at the part where like the Lionheart gets in there, and he's King Richard the Lionheart is in there. I didn't know how bad it was. Like it was horrible over there. These Crusade Wars were horrible.
They
but it
ended
really
up
got
fighting
me.
each other most of the time.
Yes, and the disease, and like apparently Richard the Lionheart was like losing teeth because of all the lack of food when they had the sieges and like not being able to get stuff. But it got me really itching to watch some stuff. Right, so I downloaded and watched, or I bought and watched Kingdom of Heaven with Orlando Bloom and
good.
yeah, and
Jeremy Irons and
and what's his name from Fight Club? Man, there's so many good actors in it, and also the Taken guy,
Liam
Liam Neeson.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
Yeah, so a lot of different characters in there.
Now, did you watch the director's cut? Much better.
I watched the full on like 3 hour and 20-minute director's cut.
Yeah, much better.
Really good film, and it didn't hold back. It didn't hold back on the atrocities, on the hypocrisy of a lot of what happened during that period. So I highly recommend it. Some of the coolest battle scenes. I'm talking about like epic level Lord of the Rings, War of Armies battle scenes. Loved it. Kingdom of Heaven. So those are the things that I've been into. Chris, talk to us about your OGG.
Well, a couple things I've been into lately. I've been reading Maynard James Keenan's book called The Perfect Union of Contrary Things. For those who don't know who that is, it's the lead singer of Tool, Puss in Purr, Perfect Circle. He goes through basically his younger years and his issues and growing up with his mom and not having a dad and stuff like that. It's very good representation of looking into the artist's mind, especially as they're younger. So if you're into his music or you like alternative rock or anything like that, I would recommend picking up the book. It's a very good book. Other book I have read recently was, you ever seen like the Band of Brothers Pacific miniseries?
Read all the books before I watched the shows.
Yeah.
With the Old Breed, Sledge's book. That's one I like to read. I've read it actually twice so far. Tough read, but it's good to remind ourselves, in my opinion, of how far we've come in society and how far we can fall if we don't, watch our P's and Q's. A little more lighthearted though.
Well, give me the title of that book again. I'm pulling up my list of books to read.
Which one? The Sledge's book or Maynard's?
Maynard's.
Maynard's book is called A Perfect Union of Contrary Things.
Interesting.
It's written in kind of like an interview type style by one of his friends of 30, 40 years. He goes through, like I said, from when he was very young, living with his mother, who ended up becoming a single mother, separating from dad, and how a lot of that stuff affected him, and how growing up very, very poor affected him when he was younger, and how he grows as an artist as well. So if you're into that kind of stuff, it's a very good read, in my opinion. I'm only about 2/3 of the way through, so I can't give you a complete overview, but from what I've read, I've enjoyed it so far.
I hear it spoils at the end. He becomes a big musician.
I've heard that might happen. He might become a successful musician.
You think?
But like I said, a little more lighthearted. Every year, my wife and I do what's known as Life Day, a gathering celebration for a bunch of our friends. And if you're not familiar with Life Day, it's like the Star Wars Christmas holiday. It started on kind of on a gag where when I was first dating my wife, I was just walking through Michael's purchasing something. I can't even remember, but I knew that she was into Star Wars, and in those little racks of like magazines or stuff, there was a hardcover book called Life Day, Star Wars, celebration. I was like, oh, cool, I'll pick this up for her. She obviously loved the book, but because of that, we actually started doing dinners with Star Wars themes, like bantha ribs and stuff like that. But part of that gathering of friends is we put on the holiday special, the Star Wars holiday special. She has a bootleg copy of it, and if you've never seen it, it is
special.
It is special. Oh yeah, it is
special. The weirdest thing I ever saw in my life.
Yes, and we love bringing new people in and watching their faces and just laughing for 45 minutes. To give people who've never seen an idea, like the first 15 minutes is a Wookiee family just talking to each other with 0 subtitles. So they're all just walking around screaming at each other. And it's just the craziest thing. But this year, because my wife works for the Ritchie Suncoast Theater in Newport Ritchie, we're actually going to put it up on the big screen for everyone to enjoy. So we're all going to sit down and suffer through this every single year like we do, and bring in a few new people and watch their jaws just drop. And at the end, they question their friendship with us, and it's just a good time.
Is that when you showed at the theater? Is this like there's seats you're gonna open up for sale? Like you give us the date and time, because we may well come out that way.
Yeah.
We're not going to open it up for sale, but if you're interested in attending, we would love to have you. It's a 300-seat theater, and it's going to be a private event. But if you feel like coming, just ping me. You know how to get a hold of me. You're welcome to come in and suffer through it with the rest of us.
I love it. I love suffering.
Yeah.
It's good.
Should be a good time.
Very, very interesting. Very weird. Very weird.
Oh,
It's a tradition now. It's a tradition. My wife used to watch it every year before I met her, she said. And our first Christmas together, she's like, "You have to watch this with me." And I'm like, "I've never seen it." She's like, "Oh, you're going to watch it."
Do you sing along with Leia? Like,
I question my life choices every year that I watch that video.
cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. It is some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen, and none of it makes any sense. And it's just, you could tell it was made in some stoner's fever dream.
Yes, that's what I mean. Rob, any OGG?
Not really. I was gonna say I've been just watching some old stuff. Me and my son still trying to get through Vikings. Well, we've been playing. Oh, yeah, there you go.
It's
Yeah,
copy.
there's
It's bootleg copy.
There's the
I'm
copy.
surprised it's not on VHS.
There you go.
It's the bootleg copy.
Betamax.
She bought it at a con at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead, Rob.
No, that's all right. No, like nothing new. Like I said, we've been watching. Me and my son are trying to get through Vikings. We just started season 3, and they all of a sudden go from 10 episodes in a season to 20 episodes in a season for the next 3 seasons. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna hang out for the whole thing,
No,
but
I gave up after a while.
Yeah, we're enjoying it. It's good. So, but gosh, yeah, I haven't really been into much. Still don't read, so that's still not a thing for me. Yeah. Still no reading, but
Hey, Wayne, you reading?
No, my day-to-day reading is a lot of federal regulations, so no, I don't read a lot at night.
Contracts,
But,
yeah.
like after staring at lines and lines of Fed Reg every day, I'm like, no, I don't want to read. But for geeky goodness, I think I've talked about The Pit. I hammered through The Pit, which is a medical drama in the style of 24, where every episode is an hour of a shift in an ER. And I've recommended it to a bunch of people, friends of mine, and like kids on my parents on my kids' soccer team, and they've all come back and like, "Oh my God, we watched the show, and we watched all 15 episodes in a day," and like because it's so good. So people have been hitting that up good. I just powered through the entirety of House of Guinness, which is on Netflix, and it's kind of like, it's good. Not very historically accurate, so I wouldn't watch it for historical accuracy.
Okay.
But it's an interesting concept of basically at some point the head of the House of Guinness beer, he dies, and he has 4 kids. He has 3 sons and a daughter, and how he bequeaths the Guinness fortune to them, and how he gets them to try to work together to keep the factory going. And it's like the mid 1800s. And so it's clearly going to be a couple seasons of this, so it's pretty good. If you like Peaky Blinders, if you like that kind of period drama with some violence and things that wouldn't make it through Carlos's VidAngel, it's pretty good. And then I just powered through the entire season of Marvel Zombies on Disney, which is pretty.
We'll pause on that because tell us your thoughts. I didn't get to watch it, but my son talked to me about it.
It's good. I liked it. I thought it was really good because it was, this most recent season, they're focusing on a couple of the ancillary characters. So it's like Kamala, the one with the bracelets, and the Shang-Chi, and a couple other guys, and they're still kind of fighting in this world full of zombies, and they're fighting zombie Thor and zombie whatever, trying to figure, and the whole planet is kind of in quarantine with what's the guys from the Guardians of the Galaxy? Novacore has like quarantined the planet, so it's kind of interesting. And they bring in Wanda Maximoff, and there's some cool stuff in there. It was kind of cool. It was good. It's only like 5 episodes, so it goes pretty quickly. But clearly, they're setting up for another season as well. So it was enjoyable. I liked the concept of it. So yeah, Marvel Zombies, House of Guinness, and then I just started watching the new season of Tulsa King. And I think once that's done, I'll go on to Peacemaker. So
that's interesting. Your thoughts on Marvel Zombies, because I haven't watched it, but I remember seeing an article, and it's a Forbes article that says that I read it. It said Marvel Zombies is the 3rd worst scored MCU show ever.
Really?
That's what my son said. Exactly. He looked at me that way and said, "Really?"
Really?
He said the first couple of episodes were a little hard to get into, but then once he got past that, like the show really ramped up, and he watched the whole thing, and he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really good. I thought because it brought in all of the second level Marvel characters that aren't like the Avengers, right? Iron Man and like all the big names. So it focuses on like the Thunderbolt guys are in an episode, and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a fun watch. So I don't know.
Yeah, I got the article right here. Let me pull it up in the news, so you can see I'm not lying. Like, and it lists all the different ratings for the different shows for the MCU. Let me get this ad out of the way. And so, like, it starts off, Miss Marvel's like 98%. Then it gets into like the middle of the stuff, like the Loki is at 87% ratings, and then it gets to the bottom, and like there's Marvel Zombies at 64%, Secret Invasion at 53%, and then Iron Fist at 37%.
So Iron Fist and Secret Invasion, I fully agree with, but Punisher's awesome.
Yeah, Punisher is great.
Like Punisher's better than
Punisher.
Ironheart and Defenders. I don't know, whatever. It's people, all of those, a lot of those shows are good. I mean, I saw that highlight,
so I pulled up the article and read it, and I was just really weirded out, and I told my son about it because he said he was watching it, and he disagreed. Like you. Yeah. He's like, really? I liked it.
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I thought it was fun, popcorny watch. It's like 5 episodes. Each episode is like 45 minutes.
He said it's not for kids, and I asked him why. Like, I was wondering, like,
well,
what
it's
is
just
it
a
about
zombie
kids?
thing. What do you expect?
He said there's a lot of gore, a lot of like,
Yeah, it's animated gore, but yeah, I wouldn't under 10.
I read the
12.
comic books. I don't know if you did. Did you ever read the
No, I never read
zombies? That was back when, like, Walking Dead was huge. Like, Max Brooks' son had come out with that zombie book. Anyway, it was big. Zombies were big at the time. It was like mid-aughts or something. And it was fun. Like, watching angsty Peter Parker be a zombie. Like, not only is he an angsty teen already, but then he wants brains. Like, it was a fun comic book series to read through. So I was looking forward to this video version of it. But then he told me that it really doesn't follow the main characters. It follows these side characters.
It follows a side character, which is interesting. Like, what happens when your B-level superheroes have to fight zombie versions of the alphas? Right?
Yeah,
like
my copy of Marvel Zombies is around here somewhere because I had played it. We did get it played, so that was pretty good too.
No, I'm with your son. I thought it was enjoyable. I mean, it wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but it was highly enjoyable.
Well, that wraps up another wonderful episode of the Beansanddice podcast, Thursday Night Live call-in show. Chris, you hung out to the very end.
Woo! 2 full hours.
Yeah.
You deserve an award for that. Like, you're a trooper.
There you go. Go Bolts.
Go Bolts. Go Bolts.
I just checked the score. They lost, unfortunately. But
I know. Yeah, it's first game.
Yeah, first game.
Got to give the opponent some points. That way
There
they
we
keep playing us.
I like that.
We will be back next Thursday where we do this again every Thursday night. We check out the description for the link to the Discord where you can find out more about us. More importantly, check out the description in this episode and in our Discord for Cardboard for Kids. The first 30 minutes of the show, we talked about it. I'm going to post a separate episode of just that. So you guys have and Chris, I'll send you the link to that so you can share it, where we talked about Cardboard for Kids and how you can help kids with cancer in the Tampa Bay area play more games, which is what they want to do. Email us at beansanddice@gmail.com. Make sure you like and you subscribe and hit the bell so you know when new videos show up. If you like what we do here, you can help by donating to Cardboard for Kids. So make sure that you're going to the Amazon link, sending some games over to those kids, helping them out. I've been your host, Carlos.
I'm Rob.
I'm Wayne.
And our guest.
Thanks, guys, for having me, Chris.
Chris, thanks for being here. Thank you all for watching. God bless you all. And good night, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.